Hallo, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Bakhair Agale, Ni Hao, Chudeshimme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimus, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifahal, Hale Shamachatore, Ahlan Wasalan, Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracias, Swabi Ab, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the very talented, the very fabulous, the very famous Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing on a Thursday rainy morning?
I'm doing great. I'm a little sleepy though. I don't know why. I had my coffee and everything. It's probably because of the weather. It looks a little gloomy.
Yeah.
If that's a word.
Yeah. I think that this is exactly the right word to use over here as well. And you know, in these days, you literally, this is what happens to me. So even when I'm going to go back home, when I'll be done with all my chores and errands, so what will happen is that I'll actually lie down on the bed. So once you sleep and then you get up, I don't know whether it's the weather, whether it's the heat or how it is, but you just feel like, you know, kind of going back to sleep.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
kind of going back to sleep again. So it's not your fault. I think it's the weather totally. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, over here in Islamabad, it's a rainy morning. The weather is superb.
It's
and
stunning.
I'm sorry, you know, so I dressed up casual.
Okay.
Because what happened that when I woke up, you know, I looked out the window and I was like, oh, you know, so there's no sun today. And quite a lot of my office colleagues were actually requesting me that, you know, why don't you bring your bike over sometime and we're going to have a little fun.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, you know, so I'm just going to get ready as if I'm going to go on a bike and then, you know, do the show the same way as well.
Right.
But as soon as I stepped outside, it was raining and I was
You're
like,
going to use your bike, right?
Yeah. So I had to come in a car,
right.
and then my producer had an issue with my round collar as well, and I was like, I'm sorry, I couldn't remember it because of the love I have for bikes. I'm sorry.
No, that's totally all right. But you know, I think there should be a day. We should decide a day actually when we should do all casual, you know, every other week.
If it is going to be casual for me, I think I'm just going to wear shorts. That's it. And those are not allowed on TV.
Not on TV.
Yes.
But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday was so important. I mean, this decision that came out of ICJ for Kulbhushan Yadav, the Indian spy that we've been had in Pakistan, and then we got him, of course. I will be very honest, I don't know if I should even be saying this on national television. I am a little not, let's say, okay with ICJ because, of course, we know how the international organization work with the influence of the superpowers of the world.
Exactly.
But luckily, of course, the consular access has been granted to the spy itself.
Yes.
So that's a good thing for them. But I think we're going to stick to our verdict, though.
Exactly,
so
and I think that this
and
is...
I think a person who does something wrong, they deserve what is going to be done to this
Exactly,
person as well,
and
to settle
especially
lesson.
when you get caught, ladies and gentlemen, you obviously have to face the due justice system as well, and I think that it is for everybody out there. It's not just for Kulbhushan. If it would have been anybody else from any other country found in the same circumstances, this is the same thing which would be happening to you. And I think it's about the sovereignty of Pakistan as well, and we're not going to come easy. So,
No,
you know,
that's
what it
absolutely
is.
true because someone in this world really had to stand up to point out the state-sponsored terrorism that our neighbor is, you know, exercising over so many places, let alone Pakistan. But on a lighter note, ladies and gentlemen, Lion King is coming out. This was in 1994 when the first, you know, I was born in 94 actually.
Really?
And Lion King came out, and the next
That's
day, I mean,
like
we
what?
were hooked to Lion King. Me and my sister, we were hooked for almost 5 to 6 years straight.
So what, are you trying to tell me that you're actually a year older than me? I mean
Yes, of course, you're 95, right? No, but I'm so super excited to watch this, and like almost in real life, I mean, it's going to be remade. The people, I mean, Donald Glover, there's Beyonce, there's John Oliver, there's so many people. Exciting, man. I cannot
it's going to be
contain
lovely.
all of this.
Yeah, and I still remember that scene from the old Lion King, ladies and gentlemen, where, you know, Simba is up there, and, you know, he's like an icon for glory as well. It's wonderful, and I think that one actually needs to watch films as well. But right now, we're going to share the trailer because tomorrow,
it's releasing in Pakistan and probably other parts of the world as well, yes.
Exactly. Let's take a look.
At this.
What a treat it's going to be for kids.
Absolutely.
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend? While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark. Begging for scraps. Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
and gentlemen, just remember one thing, that to be a king, it's not really important to be a lion too as well, but make sure that you go out and watch a film as well.
But you know, Shahzad, the other day I came across a tweet. It said that, I mean, it's really exciting to re-watch Lion King all over again in 3D, whatnot. But imagine having to watch Mufasa die all over again. It's going to be heartbreaking, though.
Yeah, it is going to be heartbreaking, but it's perfectly all right. It's just
okay,
a film, you know, that's all you need to consider.
Yeah,
but other
absolutely.
than that, today, Shahzad, I've got a very important question for you. And that question, I think, is probably all the youngsters within Pakistan, they have this question in their heart. And that is that, you know, while we are studying in our universities, majority of the times we've come across situations where teachers have actually asked us to do something which is going to be profitable for us, earn money, or probably create an opportunity or seize an opportunity for ourselves. And so many times we were unable to do it because of the fact that we never had the right mentorship, that we never had the funding, we never had any support, we never had any consultancy from the experts, and we failed miserably.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm very happy to say this, because this is one thing which happens to people over in Pakistan and all over the globe every day, because the resources are always going to be limited. You always have to make the best use of resources. So did it actually happen to you?
I'll be honest, Shahzad, not exactly to me, but people around me. I know a lot of people with some amazing, amazing minds and amazing, brilliant ideas, but they cannot really execute them because of the very same reasons that you already mentioned. There's no funding, of course. There's no proper mentorship. There are no practical skills. I mean, of course, you theoretically learn everything, how to do and how not to do, but then to exercise them in an environment which is going to be beneficial for you, that hardly happens to anyone that I know.
Exactly.
So I think there are so many things that we lack, but fortunately, we are, I think, growing that environment where people with a business mind or any great idea can learn how to make that, you know, profitable.
Exactly, that's true. And ladies and gentlemen, in the previous shows, you know, if you're going to go log on to our YouTube channels, we have mentioned quite a lot about how NUST is actually prepping their students for the outer world as well, and how they are actually funding as well, and how they're actually giving them office spaces and whatnot with their incubation centers. So I think that the Ministry of Information didn't like it that much, and they stepped up in their game, and they wanted to be on the show today to mention about what kind of features they have for all of those students who are out there as well. And you know, I think that it's our mistake that we only kind of mentioned about NUST or probably HEC as well, but now I think it's time that we highlight what the Ministry of Information is actually doing for all of those youngsters out there. So we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody from Ignite.
Yes.
What is Ignite is something we are going to let you know, but I think it's better that the person himself speaks about his own organization.
Let's
Ladies
do
and
it.
gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who's actually known by the name of Mr. Nadeem Nasir. He's the head outreach Ignite. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning to everyone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much, Shaza and Shahzad. मैं सिर्फ इग्नाइट के बारे में थोड़ा सा ये बताऊंगा कि इग्नाइट का जो पर्पस
And we'll have to do it in English. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the purpose of Ignite, the mission of Ignite is to create innovation value chain in Pakistan.
All right.
So with this, you know, mission in mind, what we have certain flagship programs for the youth. Our first flagship program, what I would like to talk about in the beginning, is the digiskills.pk.
Okay.
So this digiskills.pk prepares is preparing 1 million youth for the future of work.
Okay.
So we are training them in digital literacy, search engine optimization, creative writing, and then AutoCAD. So these are 10 programs that we are under which we are training them. So the idea is so that they can, you know, create, they can be self-employed in the first phase, then they can create job opportunities for others, and then they can enter into an entrepreneurial phase whereby they can create a couple of hundreds of jobs, and then they can, you know, make their own company.
Okay, that makes perfect sense, because of course when you're talking about DigiSkills, that is of course the need of the hour, and when we're looking at the future, without this no one is going to prosper, be it their own businesses, be it their job of any kind. Yes. Now Ignite in collaboration, this is a perfect example of private and public partnership you already mentioned, right? Let's talk about how many incubation centers we already have, and how are we going about it, in what areas do we have them?
Okay, so Ignite has set up 5 incubation centers under the auspices of Ministry of IT and Telecom.
Okay, perfect.
So we have one in Islamabad, and then we have one in Peshawar, Lahore, Karachi, Quetta.
Okay.
So these
federal
are
and
5
provinces.
incubators, right? So far 300 companies have been incubated, startups have been incubated into this.
Since
and
how long?
68 of them have been, graduated.
Oh, perfect.
So they have, generated 11,000 jobs so far.
Wow.
And over and above 900 million revenues they have generated.
Wow.
And 2.5 billion rupees investments have been committed with these companies.
That's great.
Well, it's just superb and amazing. But there's this one thing which I need to ask, and this is the same thing which my father says as well quite a lot of times. Because, I mentioned about, us being in university and, most of the time we actually had projects where we needed quite a lot of money, to fulfill them, and we didn't have them. And whenever, because we were students, so we had to approach our parents, even our parents denied.
Yeah.
And I used to ask my father, why are you denying it? I mean, this is for something good. I'm not asking you for vacation money.
Right.
And he said that if I'm going to give you the money, you will probably end up spending and not investing it onto your
misuse it,
business.
yeah.
So whenever we talk about incubation centers, I think that seed money which is being awarded to people, isn't it very hard to keep a check and balance on that? Or do you think that this concept of seed money needs to exist?
Okay, now when we created our own model for our national incubation centers, what we decided, our board of directors, they decided that let's not pay anything to the incubators.
Yeah, you can thank me later. Yeah.
Like, have them in a pressure cooker environment,
Yep. Okay.
give them world-class environment, mentorship and world-class curriculum,
Okay.
training, and give them opportunities to showcase their business ideas
Okay.
to other investors. And this is how they grow, and then they tend to sell their companies, some of the shares of their companies to the venture capitalists.
So can anybody walk in with a business idea, or is there a screening process? Is there a merit?
A criteria, yeah.
Or do you even put a little bit of research into someone's idea, whether it's going to be sustainable or not?
Okay, we have got independent judges, and a vast panel, right, who have got plenty of experience in the startups and entrepreneurial ecosystem. So they weigh, and they when the pitches are made to these judges, this is how we incubate. Every incubator advertises on social media because that is the powerful medium for the youth. So they advertise on the social media. They ask for the applications, then the pitches are done, and one of the important thing I would like to mention here is that this year in their current cohort, we call it a cohort, over 1,000 applications have been received by NAC Islamabad,
Wow.
National Incubation Center in
Islamabad alone?
Yeah,
Wow.
Islamabad alone, 1,000.
That's
so
nice.
see the level of awareness we have created and the kind of an ecosystem we have created in
Right.
Pakistan, that everybody is now convinced that we got to create jobs rather than seeking the jobs. So the ideas are listened by the experts and the judges. Then they select, now out of these 1,000 applications for the cohort, we are going to only select 40 best ideas.
Oh.
So that would
40
come
out
on
of
to
1,000.
4%,
That's a
I
tough
would
competition,
say.
though.
Yeah, that's a very tough competition.
Yeah.
So promising ideas. So,
Not even four, I
but
think
there
it's
is no
0.4%.
Yeah.
Yep.
0.4%. So there is no, kind of limitation on the age. In NIC Quetta, we have incubated Dr. Saab, whose age is, 60 plus.
Wow.
Wow.
So no age
So really
restrictions.
the idea only.
What have you
matters.
It's the
incubated him
idea.
for? Well, I mean,
Poultry
what is he
something,
doing?
right?
So he is an MBBS by profession,
Okay.
but now he is into the poultry startup.
Okay.
So what he says that actually a chicken should be hatched in 6 months' time. This 45 days chicken is very injurious to health. So he's going to create awareness about it, and he's going to create, awareness about
The entire
healthy-
process and
Yeah.
how old the chicken
Yeah.
actually needs to be before we
Oh,
consume it.
right.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
but-
before we move on,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
sorry. I mean, this
Go
is a
ahead.
little
It's
off
all
topic,
right.
but thank you so much for mentioning this idea because I think we already spoke about it before the show as well. But ladies and gentlemen, just lately I was in conversation with a panel of doctors, all ladies, and they were actually running out research on what the chicken, the regular chicken that we eat after 45 days of its growth, does to us. And they said that, ladies, it is found in Pakistan 1 out of every 3 girls has developed polycystic ovary syndrome, which means it's not a normal thing. It's a condition that you've developed that is further going to create problems in your, let's say, later on life, of course. I mean, there's so many complications that I can't even probably name right now, or I don't even know of. Google it up, and please be sure of what you're eating in terms of chicken especially, or just stick to vegetables. Just
Exactly, but you know, there was a time in Pakistan when chicken was actually looked upon as a luxury. You know, not everybody could consume it, even mutton or beef too as well. We'll come back to this, but there's one more interesting question which I wanted to ask, and that is said that, you know, for all of the guests we've had on our shows, you know, who've actually been running an incubation center, what they do is, so because we want it to be streamlined for our viewers, I mean, for people who actually will be sending in more emails, you know, to get in touch with you, we just want them to be clear on how to plan for a business idea. I mean, whether to make something which is very useful, whether to make something which is going to bring a change in the society, whether to change the mindsets. So let's streamline these things so that people can actually think of a wonderful idea which is actually in line with the concept you guys have at Ignite and the NIC as well. So let's go on with that.
I think the most important thing is that you choose a problem that solves the local problem first.
look for an opportunity.
Yeah, you choose a problem and then you bring up a solution that solves a local problem.
Yeah, okay. So the first the first problem is that, yeah, my wife doubts me a lot. I mean, do you have a solution for that? Do we have a solution for that? No, we do not. But we'll find out,
Yeah, of course. Artificial intelligence, chatbots, these are the solutions which technology
See,
is
these
bringing
problems
up.
are common. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
So that is the first thing. You develop a solution and then you test it in the market. Okay. You try to mature it, in-depth research. Then you go for the productization, whether it is a service or a handheld, kind of a product. So all these phases are covered in our Nation Incubation Centers, where we have a curriculum for their business ideas, for their productization, marketing, and and soft skills especially. Because when you commit a thing, then deliver it.
Okay.
Right. So the timekeeping and to be the punctuality aspect. So all the soft skills we cover in our. So the international mentorship program we have, we invite people from foreign universities and foreign entrepreneurial experts. They come and share their business ideas and how their company grew at their time, what problems they faced, and how they resolved their problems. Right. So these are the values.
The basic values that one must know. And ladies and gentlemen, when we are talking about the 60+ businesses that have already graduated, you mentioned
68. Yeah.
60. Okay. So they are one of you. I mean, they were probably watching online someday.
Just like us.
Exactly. And then they had an idea, and then you came, shared it with them, and it was successful. So you can really come up with it. And now I think to make it even easier for you, we should definitely share a success story from one of those ideas, so we know how it went or what sort of ideas really are welcome. Let's go ahead, sir.
Yeah. One of the amazing idea I would say is Fine Living Shabana Jamshed. She's a sister. They were 8 sisters. They are 8 sisters, and father was a driver.
Okay.
And she developed a low-cost, business initially, and now she has raised around $1 million from a venture fund.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So her model was just to go into the community and on that Chingchi, that which we have the rickshaws kind of a stand, and she would present glasses, water sets, bed sheets. What a laborer of earning 200 rupees a day, his family cannot afford. She tells us that in her times they won't have 6 cups of one kind. They could present a tea to her class fellows and kind of that environment. So she started off with this, and today she has her managers have started off the business, same kind of businesses in different areas of Lahore, and now she has raised such a big amount of money to scale up her business. And another example is that water filter that is much talked about nowadays on all the media.
It's all over TV as well, yes?
Yeah, you saw that as well. So this guy, Shayan Sohail, He was under debt for 5 million rupees. He had also sold his ancestral house, and one fine day he had just a bunch of rice and a sugar which he melted into hot water, and he ate that too. So, there came a day where he got a funding over 2 billion rupees from a foreign fund, and now
Imagine.
now he's going to launch his that simplified water filter, which does not need electricity. So just put it on a bottle, in front of a bottle or a house tap, or a pond water can be you can
Turned into
drink that
drinkable water?
from
Okay.
that filter. So I think in a 6 months' time, he's gonna launch it in the market.
And it's just great. And ladies and gentlemen, the sole purpose of sharing such stories is to so that you can take inspiration, so that you can learn. And you know, all of these institutions are out there. When we talk about institutions being incapable or not having the capacity to do something for their own citizens, I think that we actually need to share all of those stories as well, where we really need to highlight, because I think that it is for the future of Pakistan as well.
Yeah,
I
most
mean,
definitely.
Ministry of Information and Technology, if they came up with this idea, it was for the people of Pakistan, and I think everybody needs to use it the best way as well.
Absolutely.
But sir, before we wrap up this segment, just one last question which I wanted to ask, and that is that whenever we see that they're venture capitalists and they're investing and they're buying shares from people's businesses who actually had the idea by themselves, and then they made sure that their business is up and running, how do you make sure that none of the venture capitalists is actually going to do a hostile takeover? How do you protect the business?
I think nobody can do this in the world.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. Because our job is that when there are different offers being made to that company, we can guide them, we can mentor them at that stage, that look, go with Shiza because she's going to take you a long way. So instead of another guy who's going to put his money, but later on he loses interest or he has some other focuses as well. So we tend to, guide them at that stage.
Okay.
But from there on,
It's their choice.
definitely they have to look after themselves.
Okay.
And no matter, even if after that they need any kind of help from us or from our experts, pool of experts, we do, extend our full help to them. But, there are stages when they get independent. And these are sharp guys, by the way. They don't have to be looked after much because that is the reason they have, reached that
Survived
stage.
so far, yes.
Right.
So nobody can hoodwink them like that.
Amazing that is. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. It was wonderful having you.
Thanks.
And hats off to the Ministry of Information and Technology for all of these ventures which you've jumped into, and I think that it's going to be very beneficial for people of Pakistan.
Right,
But
most
before we go out towards a short break, ladies and gentlemen, we have this one simple segment
Okay.
where we share a picture, and you're just supposed to say whatever comes to your head when you see the picture.
Okay.
Are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
This is
Okay,
called
so
Picture
it's-
of the Day. Can we have it on the screens, please?
Let's do it. Okay, yeah, this is a
Okay, I
depressing
think
one.
childhood trauma stays with you for a very long time.
What about you, sir? What do you want to say?
I think he's happy about his present and future, and what he was kind of in a kind of a despair, but now future seems promising for him.
Well, that's just great, So somebody from Ignite would definitely talk about future being very successful as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think what I have to say is that this is literally how depression looks like. I mean, for all of those people who have taken their lives because of the fact that they were depressed, that's the kind of thoughts they had in their heads, and that's the kind of look they had on their face. So please make sure that we do not judge people, but we really need to be of immense support for people who are actually going through mental illnesses,
Absolutely.
anxiety, and depression,
That's so
and be
true.
their support system.
That's so true. Depression has no face, absolutely. I mean, every other person around you, you don't even know, maybe they're smiling in your face, they're laughing with you at your jokes, they're probably so super depressed you don't even know what's going on in their life. So do not judge a book by its cover, first of all, and just be there. Lend your ears to them. All they want to be is to be heard, I
that's
guess.
it.
On this note, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading out to a very short break. When we come back, we have something healthy for you in store.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, okay. It's my time to flex. Oh, all right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad. The abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains. Spread over an area of 12,605 hectares, the Magla Range, the foothills of Himalayas, are youngest hills with an age of 5,000 years old. Magla Hills are home to around 600 plant species, 250 bird varieties, 38 mammals, and 13 species of reptiles. Magla Range is characterized by many valleys, scenic spots, and beautiful water streams, especially in the monsoon months. Famous for their tranquil environment and lush green natural splendor, Magla Hills are a particular source of pride, harmony, and spiritual solace. For the residents of Islamabad, many of whom make it a weekly ritual to scale the various trails to Damanikoh and Pir Suhawa. Magla Hills send off its visitors with lasting trail of memories to relish in solitude and provide an escape from the relentless rhythm of life.
Welcome back to World This Morning with Shahzad Khan and Shiza Hashmi on a beautiful, rainy, cloudy Thursday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we are going to be talking about something so healthy and something so important that I think everyone needs to learn out there. I've been hearing about it. I've been seeing a lot of people doing it a lot. This is keto diet for you, ladies and gentlemen. But before we really introduce someone and make you watch a video of it, I have some questions for you, Shahzad, because I've been noticing for quite some months now, you've been working very hard on your body. I mean, that's really amazing to be in love with your body. But is it enough to only be sticking to gym? I mean, do you really have to just work out and be okay with it? Or do you really have to stick to a proper diet for it as well?
Okay, so you know, here's the rule, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that it's a thumb rule as well, and that is that, you know, for anybody to be perfect or to look good or, you know, to make sure that they enjoy their physique, you know, it's 60%, to me, it's 60% diet and then 40% is gym.
Okay.
But unfortunately for me, it's the other way around because we, you know, hail from a Punjabi background where there's always something, alhamdulillah, to eat on the table, you know, parathas and makhan and whatnot. So what I've done to myself is that I want to enjoy life and then look good at the same time. I really do not have to be like six-pack abs and whatnot. So to have a good lifestyle, all I do is that, you know, I do control my diet. I'll eat lesser. I'm not into, okay, you know, this is what I'll eat, this is what I'll eat. So I'll eat lesser amounts of portions and then work out. That's it. So I keep it simple. But, you know, once I go to the gym, I make sure that I actually have to burn 1,000 or more calories as well. So this is something,
That's a lot
this is
of
how I
hard
balance.
work, though.
Yeah, this is how I balance it off, but it works out for me. And I, you know, because Allah actually made sure that I'm big. So I think I'm going to make sure myself as well that, you know, I look big as well. Because other than that, I've seen a lot of people just to gain lean muscle and just to be more leaner. I have seen that they have passed out on several occasions as well because of the fact that their bodily nutritions weren't really actually fulfilled by the type of diet they were taking.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but
so
what about you?
tried
How do
keto
you
diet,
maintain
though?
yourself?
I don't. Have you ever tried keto diet though?
No, I haven't tried keto diet, but I know quite a lot about it as well, where it is actually, you know, it's the kind of diet which is high in fat and low in carbs as well, and it comes down to a level where the liver actually starts to produce ketosis. I don't know, you know, so
Okay,
that your body
okay.
comes into that, and then you start losing your weight as well. But it's a high fat diet, and you know, I think this is where people confuse it as well, that how is it actually going to, you know,
But it's
kind of make
interesting.
sure that we lose our weight as well. But we've got an expert over here.
But
So-
before that, I think to explain the process better, we have a video to share so
Yeah.
that we know what it is. And then we have a lot of questions to ask our expert.
Let's do
take a
this.
look at this.
Let's do this. Have you tried keto, or are you thinking about any different diet? That's the question, ladies and gentlemen, and the question will actually be answered by somebody who's actually known for the kind of work he's doing. He's a professional, first of all. He's a fitness expert. He's most of the time with Tawseeq Haider Saab, but today we've requested him to be on our show too as well. So he's gracing this occasion. He's none other than Mr. Kashif Shahzad. He's a dietitian and a nutritionist as well. Hello, Kashif. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Hello, walaikum
Hala
assalam.
Madrid. Yes, I'm great.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you very much for asking me as well.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you. So tell us about keto. I mean, what is it?
Well, first, we get into it, we need to understand about the macros. What are the macros? Macros mean your protein, your fats, and your carbs.
Okay.
Now it depends, protein is healthy or unhealthy, carbs are healthy or unhealthy, and fats are healthy or unhealthy, all right? So we need to understand that how much protein, fats, and carbs we are having a day. Because sometimes, you know, जब हम कीटो प्रोसेस पे होते हैं तो हम ओवर द कैलोरी डेफिसिट पे जाना होता है हमें, सो हम चले जाते हैं कैलोरी सरप्लस पे. यस, सो तीन चीज़ें हैं, प्रोटीन, फैट्स एंड कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स. इन तीन चीज़ों में से आपको सबसे पहले समझना ये है कि कीटो डाइट से पहले जो एक मशहूर है लो कार्ब डाइट, कार्ब साइकिल डाइट, नो कार्ब डाइट, हाई प्रोटीन डाइट, लो protein diet. लेकिन जब हम you know, when we cut down the carbohydrates, you know, we limit the carbohydrates, then it, you know, known as keto diet. You know, it's about 70% of your fat, 20% of your protein, and 5% of your carbohydrates. But carbohydrates,
95% of the total diet. Where's the rest of the 5%?
No,
70, 20, and 5%.
In between 10 to 5% of carbohydrates you are getting from the vegetables.
All right.
All right. So we carbohydrates, basically we don't get carbohydrates from the wheat and flour and pasta.
Rice.
We are going to have carbohydrates from the main source is you're from vegetable. Because हम उसको समझते हैं कि जो आपकी जो vegetable है वहाँ से जो आपको carbohydrates मिल रहा है वो है आपका fiber.
Okay.
So you need fiber as well. So it's somewhere around 70 to 75% of your fat, 20 to 25% of your protein, and carbohydrate is 5% or 10% from your vegetables.
Okay.
So keto process, जब हम keto diet शुरू करते हैं, basically ये होता क्या है कि जब आप low carb diet पे जाते हैं और आप 70% fats पे जाते हैं और आप moderate protein होती है, उसमें आपने ख्याल ये रखना होता है कि आपकी जो फैट इनटेक है वो आपकी हेल्दी सोर्स से आ रही हो. जैसा कि आपको सीड से लेना है, nuts se lena hai, you are going to have some, olive oil, coconut oil, peanut butter, etc. And then the protein source is going to be beef, mutton, protein, etc. So the carb is going to be from your vegetables.
Okay, that's great. But what I'm worried about over here is, imagine that we're actually consuming fat. How do you think that it's not going to make us more fatter?
Because jab aapki body, let's let's understand behind the science, how our body works.
Yeah, go ahead.
Agar hum apni body ko, our body source, the source of fuel is carbohydrate. You need to understand.
Yeah.
Alright.
If you are consuming carbohydrates, that means you are gaining energy, you are putting up the weight and all that. All right. So you have to limit your carbohydrates. अब जब carbohydrates limit होते जा रहे हैं, तो हमारी body जब carb हम खाते हैं, रोटी, चावल, pasta, sugar, candies, and XYZ drinks, etc. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि आपकी body ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट करती है, और वो ग्लूकोज जो आपका एनर्जी सोर्स में कन्वर्ट होता है, ठीक है। उसके बाद जब वो आपका जो सोर्स है एनर्जी का वो बढ़ता रहता है, तो आपकी बॉडी जो एक फ्यूल टैंक है, देयर इज अ फ्यूल टैंक इन योर बॉडी, ऑलराइट, मसल के अंदर। वो जब फुल हो जाता है तो उसके बाद आपकी बॉडी जो है स्पिल ओवर करती है। दैट मीन्स कि आपकी बॉडी इसको फैट में कन्वर्ट करना शुरू कर देती है। जब आप कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स बंद कर देते हैं, मिसाल के तौर पर आपने अपनी बॉडी में कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स देना बंद कर दिया, यू आर ऑन फैट एंड योर प्रोटीन, तो उसके बाद आपकी बॉडी 3 दिन बाद 2 दिन बाद एक स्टेट है, देयर इज अ स्टेट कॉल्ड कीटोसिस, यू हैव मेंशन्ड बिफोर, राइट। सो उसमें क्या होता है कि आपकी बॉडी का जो मेन सोर्स होता है, जो फ्यूल होता है, वो आपकी फैट को टैप करती है।
ओके।
तो आपकी बॉडी उसमें
एनर्जी स्टार्ट्स बर्निंग।
एग्जैक्टली। तो आपका जो, क्योंकि फ्यूल मेन सोर्स जो है, फ्यूल जो है वो कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स है, दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड।
Okay, so let me explain it. So I think that it is more like that you actually have got a compressed natural gas container in your car, and your car can actually run on fuel too as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So what we are doing is that we are giving the body an alternate source for energy.
Yes.
And that too coming from fat, because you're killing the carbs,
Yes.
they're going to be low. But don't you think that there are going to be repercussions for that? कि कुछ गलत नहीं हो जाएगा बॉडी के साथ, क्योंकि उनकी जो ओरिजिनल सोर्स है जो फ्यूल की, वो तो कार्ब्स है। तो फिर जब when we are in the process of conversion or ketosis, as you very correctly said, how do you think one is going to feel? Are we going to feel lethargic,
Yes.
lack of energy,
dizzy?
Yeah.
In first week you will feel the same what you said, but
Okay.
after that you will feel energetic, you will feel good, and जो आपका जो process है, it should be around 2 to 3 months, not more than that. उसके बाद you are going to hit plateau. It's a term, fitness
Yep,
term,
I know,
plateau.
I know.
After that you have to get back on your normal diet, and then you can start again after some days or months the keto thing again.
Okay.
So what is going to happen is, when you are on ketos, after 1 week you are going to have, you are going to burn a lot of fat and muscle as well. If you are not having that much enough protein, because why I said you need 20 to 20% protein, because if you are cutting down your protein, you are going to lose your mass as well.
Yeah, that's what the problem is.
Your body, your bones, your body, your muscle need protein as well.
Okay. So from all of what I've heard, there's just only one thing I've established: you cannot do it without a proper instructor. Don't start on your own. But here's my question: can anyone start it? Like, do we really have to care about? Probably some people are having blood pressure issues, or diabetes or whatnot. Is it safe for them? Yeah.
Yes. First thing first. One should go to see a doctor.
Okay.
I would suggest, and then you can try keto diet. It's researched. Research has shown that you can get benefit from the keto. You can lower your cholesterol level. You can lower your sugar level, and many other benefits.
Perfect.
Exactly. And speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a long list for all of those people who are actually on keto diets. They're actually getting these benefits as well. So there's with keto diet, there's lesser chances of heart diseases as well, lesser chances of cancer, lesser chances of Alzheimer's disease, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease,
and this list goes on and on.
Syndrome, brain injuries and whatnot. Yeah, so the list is long. But now I think that what is very important for people to know is how to make this keto diet at home, because I've seen people even within my own home, they're actually spending money or probably sending it to other people so that they send them the diet. But how do we manage our diet at our homes by ourselves and call it keto diet?
All right. First thing you need to understand, as I mentioned before.
Let's start from breakfast. What do you think keto diet breakfast is?
Keto diet breakfast is your, your fist size of nuts.
Okay.
And you can have chia seeds in water, 2 spoons, 2.5 spoons, and then you can have boiled eggs, 3 to 4 boiled eggs. That's it. That is going to be your
With
breakfast.
yolks or without yolks?
Well, no. I would not recommend yolks because it depends on your routine throughout the day. आप lunch या dinner की बात करेंगे या snack की बात करेंगे तो I recommend because breakfast में आपको healthy fats चाहिए. You need healthy fats.
Okay.
No matter what कि आपके yolk के अंदर भी healthy, but it's having saturated fat as well.
Exactly.
So before jump up your metabolism, you need good food like quality fats and protein. That's it. So why I am recommending people are using a lot of yolks and unhealthy fats that I would not recommend because all end of the day it's about your health. So if I'm talking about the health now, so you need to understand that you need to have some fiber as well in your diet. People usually following the keto diet, but they don't know what ingredients we need actually for our brain, for our heart, for our organs. All right. So we need seeds. Seeds are the crucial role playing in the keto diet.
Okay.
All right. क्योंकि हमारा जो bowel movement है basically fresh up kind of thing, उसके लिए ज़रूरी ये है कि आपकी diet में fiber 20 to 25 grams of fiber per day you are giving your body. That's enough.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, that's
You
great. So
need to-
now
yes.
let's move on to lunch.
I would tell you guys first thing that the checklist should be your nuts,
Okay.
your
Again in
seeds.
lunch.
No. I'm just giving you the whole.
So every day you actually have to take nuts, seeds,
Yes,
boiled
I'm
eggs.
going to give you the plan, the whole plan. आप घबराएं नहीं. लेकिन मैं ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि आपके पास जो लिस्ट होनी चाहिए, जो बेसिकली आपके पास आपने ग्रोसरी करनी है, आपको नट्स चाहिए जिसमें आपके बादाम, कैश्यूज, पिस्ताचियो, पीनट बटर, ये चीज़ और चिया सीड्स, फ्लैक्स सीड्स, आपकी डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स होने जा रही हैं, आपके नट्स होने जा रहे हैं, आपके प्रोटीन में बीफ, मटन, चिकन, फिश, टूना एटसेट्रा. उसके अलावा नट्स में आपको मैंने बता दिया. और फाइबर आपका कहाँ से आ रहा है? बेसिकली आपकी होल ग्रेन कार्ब्स तो बंद हैं, तो आपने कहाँ से लेना है? अपने सीड्स से लेना है. यू आर गोइंग टू हैव फाइबर फ्रॉम सीड्स एंड योर नट्स.
Okay, well,
So
So what are we not eating actually?
you are not eating starchy carbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So you're not having sugar, you're not having drinks, you're not snacking.
Yes.
you know,
Cheesy stuff.
You're
You
not
can
having
snack.
bread, you're not
You can
having
snack
rice.
with your nuts and a glass
Yeah.
of water and you can put it one spoon.
But
of
that's
sugar
not a
just like
snack,
it.
that's like healthy eating.
That's a
you know,
healthy snack.
That's not junky, at all.
But you can make healthy, pancakes.
Okay,
You can
and
buy a almond flour,
Yeah.
and you can make some kind of pancakes as well.
Well, that's great. So
You
are
can
we-
put some cheese and some cream as well.
That's great. So are we using any oils while we're cooking our
Coconut
mutton,
oil,
fish? Coconut oil,
olive oil,
olive oil.
and
that's it.
That's it.
Or the regular oil we use at our
No,
house?
no, we
so
should not
there's
use
no
those
way that
oils.
you can do that.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in today's time to be fit, I know that it's not easier, but you always have to prioritize. But thank you very much, Kashif, for being with us.
I
It was
want to
wonderful
say
have
one
you.
last
Go
thing.
ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. अच्छा, आप लोगों को समझना ये है कि आप कैलोरी सरप्लस में मत जाएं. You should not go with calorie surplus because
लेकिन हमें कैसे पता है?
you can check your BMI from Google. You can Google it and
There's a simple formula
yeah,
for that
yeah.
too
Okay.
as well.
You can calculate your calories and protein has 1 gram protein has 4 calories, 1 gram carbs has 4 calories, and 1 gram fat has 9 calories. Then you can calculate your.
I think that's great. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much
so
for being
much,
with us.
Kashif.
It is
Thank you
wonderful
very
to
much for
have you.
having
And
me.
there was only this one question throughout the show.
Yeah.
And that was that, are you Faisal's brother?
Yeah, I'm Faisal.
Okay, he's Faisal's brother. They're look-alike too as well. Faisal, ladies and gentlemen, and me, we go back in time. He's a great guy as well. And he's doing this one segment with the name of Film something? Faisal Movie Wala on Tawseek show as well, which is on
Okay.
PTV
The Breakfast
Home.
Show.
Yeah, on the Breakfast show as well. So thank you very much for being with us.
Thank
It's
you very
wonderful
much for
to have
having
you.
me.
Shizar, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, this was just probably the basics for everyone out there like me who didn't know anything about the keto diet. But ladies and gentlemen, please don't start on your own. I mean, of course, there is this new trend of having a summer body and whatnot. Really do not care about how skinny you can get. No, I mean it. It really has to be about being healthy. I mean, it doesn't matter how you look. It's not about the size. It's about being healthy. It's about the insides, how healthy your organs are, how healthy your stomach or even your brain is, right, Shazad?
Exactly.
So please stick to that and do all always seek for an expert advice.
Thank you very much, Hiza, for saying that. And it is very important, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you just do not want to look perfect. You know, you really need to be perfect in your daily chores as
Absolutely,
well.
absolutely.
You know, probably just ask yourself these questions. Can you run for 5 kilometers? Can you jog? Can you hike? Can you swim? Can you ride a horse? I mean, all of these basic activities, if you can do that, I think that you're fit to go. Do whatever you want to do in life, but please make sure that you prioritize yourself before anything else. Do write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of...
Well This Morning.
On Twitter.
Well This Morning without a G.
On Daily Motion and GT.
Also Well This Morning.
And this fabulous repeat's going to be
5
at...
past 11 p.m. tonight.
Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.